So my name's Carl Kanadi. I'm the CEO and co-founder of 2 to 3 Degrees. So 2 to 3 Degrees is a social enterprise that inspires and equips young people with the personal development skills they need to fulfill their potential. And we basically started because there's a whole bunch of young people leaving the education system with the capacity to memorize Shakespeare or Pythagoras theorem, but a lot of those skills become redundant the minute you leave the school gates. What they need to learn is confidence, self-esteem, learning how to communicate in professional environments, and that's what 2 to 3 Degrees does. We've been going since March 2016 and have worked with over 7,000 young people across education, community and sport, and across the UK as well. And it's been an incredible journey of serving young people and helping them become the best version of themselves. The name essentially comes from the idea that if you imagine a protractor or a compass, a 2 to 3 degrees angle is actually very, very small. So it's the idea that a lot of the things that young people need for their development are small changes over time. Rather than making massive changes to become an overnight success or a YouTube hit, we're teaching young people how can you build the consistency and the commitment to actually build a career or to build a successful life. So it's those small changes over time. So for many of the young people that are from underrepresented backgrounds or are suffering the impacts of inequality, for them, they've got that added barrier of not having access, but also potentially then not having belief. So for a lot of these young people, a big thing is the cultural and the social capital, essentially social mobility. So we need to make a concerted effort to really work on social mobility for these young people, is because if we don't, what happens is we might create loads of opportunities, but they might not necessarily have access to them. So do you have someone in your network that you could potentially contact and say, hey, I'd like to get a work experience? Or someone when you finish university that can say to you, hey, come and do this graduate program. And we take for granted how incredible that opportunity is for those who are from more affluent backgrounds. But for those young people who come from less affluent backgrounds, this isn't a common thing. So what we're really focusing on is building their network, but also building their understanding about where to find these opportunities. So once we've helped these young people build their personal development skills, the big thing is to then connect them up to the opportunities that are taking place in the borough. The Mastering My Future program is a journey where we take young people to inspirational workshops with employers, mentoring with inspirational role models, and then also work experience in some of the local employers in the borough. We've been going for about 4 years now, and we've worked with over 500 young people in the borough and over 50 employers. And this journey that we take young people on really helps build their confidence, their self-esteem, but also their work readiness, so that by the time they get to a place where they do want to apply for an opportunity, they've got the capacity and the confidence to actually take that opportunity on. Some of the employers that we've worked with so far include Addison Lee, Coca-Cola, Howard the Walden Estate, and a whole bunch of other employers. So we provide young people with some of the skills they need for the workplace by, first of all, delivering personal development themed workshops. So we work on the stuff that you don't usually get from school. We work on workshops such as Who Am I?, which focuses on identity and goal setting, developing the leader within, building their leadership skills, mastering communication, and one of the biggest ones that is really popular on our program is called Fail Big. And this is helping young people develop a level of resilience so they no longer see failure as a permanent stain on their record, but instead as a stepping stone to success. We've had loads of success, and I'm not just saying that, we genuinely have had loads of success with young people. But one story really does come to mind from an incredible young lady called Nida. And she came on one of our programs and she was really shy. She didn't really know what she wanted to do in her future, but I think she had been given a lot of advice about what she should do, which was to go down the law path. After taking part in some of the Mastering My Future programs, she really grew in her confidence. Not just her confidence amongst her peers, but her confidence to also engage with employers through taking part in the workshops and being a part of the work experience and taking on a mentor. After a while, Nida realized that actually she didn't want to go into law, and after doing work experience with Grosvenor, she really wanted to go into marketing after spending some time with the Grosvenor marketing team. So she changed her decision. Instead of going to university to study law, she took a year out and she started doing some work placement in marketing. And she's now currently doing a placement with one of our employers in their marketing team. She's also a 2 to 3 Degrees ambassador and often goes to our workshops and programs and shares the story about the success that she's achieved, but also the success that they can also achieve by being a part of the program. I think some of the key barriers that exist are access. in order to be able to give opportunities to young people from these backgrounds, you've got to know where they are and you've got to be able to access them. And so that's why a program like Mastering My Future is a great bridge to that talent pipeline and those incredible young people from diverse and underrepresented backgrounds. That's probably the first thing. Another thing is probably knowledge and understanding of the value that it has to their bottom line, but also to the workforce more generally. There has been a rhetoric previously that doing it was more of a CSR objective. But actually, this is key to your business development. A lot of these young people actually have the keys that are going to unlock tomorrow's problems. So if we can find a way to access this workforce, we have an incredible opportunity to build a world that actually is tackling the problems that we're going to face tomorrow. And these young people have the answers. There are a few incredible outcomes that we see when companies do take on this initiative. I guess the first one being the incredible diversity of thought that is brought into their workforce. When we're thinking about problems and we're thinking about solving problems, if we've got a diversity of thought around the table and some fresh thinking, it has a big impact on the solutions that we come up with. Another key thing that I think is achieved when we take on these initiatives is that we actually start to broaden the access that we have with the talent pipeline. So once we've got one young person from a diverse background in a role that they wouldn't usually get access to, what they then do is they give the opportunity to other people from their community. And all of a sudden, a sector that was traditionally not very diverse starts to open its doors a little bit more. So there's almost like a legacy effect over time.